And with substantial prize funds at stake, competition is tough.
The Millstreet Indoor International Horse Show is in its 20th year. Staging such an event takes lots of planning. When all is ready, the riders jump at the opportunity to compete.
Well, I spend most of my time on the continent, most of the time in Germany. It's lovely to come home to Ireland, and I really enjoy coming back. Millstreet obviously is a very, very good show. I come to Millstreet, I come to Dublin Horse Show. I really enjoy meeting everybody again, seeing everybody, old friends, and enjoy the competition.
This year's event has attracted riders from all over the world. It's teamwork which helps to achieve a clear round in the arena.
Got two individuals trying to make a team, like you have the horse and yourself, and you can have a good day and the horse has a bad day and you still have a bad round, or the horse can have a brilliant day and you have a bad day and luckily you go clear.
While a horse and its rider are in the arena for just 1 to 2 minutes, a lot of work goes into getting the appearance and temperament of the horse just right.
Well, as a groom for Robert Spillane, I look after his horses. This in particular is a stallion, and you have to make sure that they're comfortable in their surroundings.
Up to 30,000 spectators come to see the horse show. Some dream of the day they'll be old enough to jump the fences. Later this evening, riders and spectators will rock to the sound of ABBA-esque. Then tomorrow afternoon, the show will finish with the Dairygold Grand Prix, which is a prize fund of £20,000. Paul Byrne, TV3 News, County Cork.
A man has been charged.
Amber de Montois, and this is the Kerrygold World Cup Round 3 of the FEI Series on the Western European League. We had a qualifier yesterday to find these top riders to come forward for this preliminary round, and it's all about getting points to go to the World Cup finals, which will be in Las Vegas, in the USA next April. Peter Charles, British born, 39 years old, but coming very much home here. And in fact, Peter Charles has set the whole thing up with the first clear round. And it's those, as I'm sure you all know, it's those on equal scores that will go forward to the jump-off against the clock. In other words, show jumping's tiebreaker. So we have Peter Charles in, opened it up over this course designed by Anders Hafschot, the Norwegian designer, and he was the designer when we were in Oslo for round 1 of this new 99 year 2000 series. And he set them, in actual fact, a course of 12 fences, 15 jumping efforts, time allowed 71 seconds, go over that time allowed and they get a quarter of a time for every second commit. So we move now to Christoph Barbeau for Switzerland, his first visit to the Green Glens Arena here in Millstreet, and he's riding the 9-year-old Swiss-bred Corley de la Berde. Well, Christophe finished 11th in the Bourg-en-Bresse Grand Prix in France recently, and a couple of years ago he competed on the what's called the Far East circuit in Japan, and if I remember rightly, he actually won a World Cup qualifier in Tokyo. We're going in order of merit after yesterday's qualifier. In other words, those on best scores will come last. Now let's have a look at this course of Anders Hafschot. And coming round now to fence 6, and that one is at 1.60 meters. That distance we'll keep an eye on as we see the others go. It's obviously tight from that one fence to the other. That one's got a spread on it of over 6'6" with a top bar there at 5'6". So Hafschot to set them a tough course. As you can see as our cameras look around, as always a huge crowd here in Millstreet. We really are in the land of the horse, and they're so enthusiastic about their show jumping. That's another one at 1.60 meters, 5'3", 5'4". Back bar on that one, you can see the lovely angle to that, almost a parallel, and that's on 1.60 meters as well. So for Barbeau, he comes back with a total of 8 faults. At one clear round, as we saw, from the home star, as it were, Peter Charles for Ireland with Tracks Data, that's his sponsors, Amber de Montois. Well, from Barbeau we move into the top 18 now after yesterday's qualifier. Just having a look at that. That was barely a hoof nail on that one, wasn't it? You get away with nothing. We move now into the top 18 after yesterday's qualifier for this preliminary. And for France, it's Ulrich Charonnet, and he's riding the Anglo-Arab bred stallion, 10 years old, Prima d'Or. This was bred at the French National Stud. That's what the HN stands for. And Aldrich also making his first visit to Millstreet. Finished 9th in the Pinerolo Grand Prix in Italy and 10th in the Royan Grand Prix in France. No British riders, I have to tell you. I'm sorry, our viewers on British Eurosport and everybody else, no British riders qualified for this, or got through rather, for this preliminary, and it included some of our top riders like Tim Stockdale, William Funnell, Michael Whittaker, Robert Smith, but they just didn't make it through this time. Tim Stockdale, by the way, has recently become a father for the first time, and he won, in fact, a very good class here yesterday. Now from that double, that one at 1.60 m, as I said earlier, 5'3", well it isn't now, but it was. They've got to come very tight off the barrier in this arena. That's 3 strides to that. But Hafschult has given them a few options with a sort of slight dog leg to the distance. They can play with it. That wall at 4'10". 1 stride and 2 strides down the treble combination. And that's at fence 10. And that's a fair fence coming out, that last one, isn't it? Say with a back rail on it there, 5'3". So for Aldrich Charanet, he's in fact in time faults there, as you can see. 8.5 is his final score. That time allowed 71 seconds. As I said earlier, go over that time allowed and run a quarter of a time fault for every second commenced. Well, as we just see them going through that double, let's see this distance. 2, 3, 4. But you see the dog leg there that they can play with. And the French rider took a bit of a straight line towards it, didn't he? Prize money is £25,000 in total in prize money, some £8,125 going to the winner. But I say this is on the Western European League. It's 15 qualifiers this year and the beginning of next year, and we're bringing them all to you here on Eurosport and on British Eurosport. And it's all about making the top 18 on the Western European League to qualify for those finals in Las Vegas next April. 20 points going to the winner. 17, 15, 13 and 12, down by 1 then to 6th place. The reigning champion, World Cup champion, has been for the last 2 years, Brazil's Rodrigo Pessoa. He automatically qualifies for the finals to defend his title. And there'll be riders coming from 13 leagues around the world when we go to Las Vegas. So, still with that one clear round, we move on now to the Netherlands with Jack Leemans, and Jack Leemans riding the 9-year-old Dutch-bred mare. You may have heard our course commentator, the wonderful Michael Slavin, announcing that this mare is Zora. Jack finished 9th in the Grand Prix of The Hague and 10th in the Dinard Grand Prix earlier this season. And I say we're going in order of merit from that qualifying round. A bit of a long stride inside that double, but you see the way Leemans just opened that distance up though. Made it that little bit wider. 1, 2, 3. And there's no choice about that one. It's committed 3. Just Peter Charles, in case you've just joined us. British-born Peter Charles for Ireland. They're only clear so far in this Kerrygold World Cup here from Millstreet. That's that treble combination, looking at it obviously in profile. And that's a bit of a funny 2 strides, those last 2 elements, isn't it? Rather pulled them onto it. Well, he's inside the time allowed, but with 16 there on the scorecard. Well, this was won last year here in the Green Glens Arena by the Mary McCann's Irish-bred stallion Cruising. Won it last year and the year before, but with Trevor Coyle in the saddle. This time we'll be seeing later Cruising, but this time with the great Eddie Macken in the saddle. That's kind of something to look forward to, isn't it? Ooh, but a little bit of a distance off that, but that's more or less a true 1 in there. And you can see where he swung out and just went for that, gave him a bit more space. Well, the crowd welcoming one of Ireland's favourite sons, Paul Dara, 46 years old, comes from Tara in County Meath, just outside Dublin. And Paul riding the 8-year-old Dutch-bred mare, Jalinka or Jalinsa. And this horse produced by the former German international, Ashes von Burkhardt. Paul, who's won the outdoor jumping derby here at Millstreet, which is staged every August. We've got 6 Irish riders have come through for this final round for this preliminary. Now can Paul Darren make it 2 for Ireland? Peter Charles already having posted the first one. Paul, who spent his formative years in the north of England riding for Trevor Banks. No, he's not going to make it another one for Ireland. This is only an 8-year-old, and show jumping terms, that's quite a baby. And Paul, astute horseman that he is, he said, that's it. We'll come back another day. That's a lovely little mare, actually. That's very much on her learning curve, isn't it? I say the crowds have been pouring into this arena for all the last 45 minutes. Tomorrow, of course, it's the Grand Prix as well, the sort of Victor Ladorum of the tournament. We're moving on now through, say, the top 18 from yesterday's qualifier. And we go to Lauren Huff, or Lauren Ho, from 22 years old, from California. And she's riding the 9-year-old German-bred All Frosty. This is also was produced by the South African international David McPherson, who's based in England. And already Lauren's finished 11th in the Leeuwarden Grand Prix in the Netherlands, and had good placings as well on the USA East Coast World Cup League. There's 2 leagues in the USA, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. And she's at the moment being coached by Katie Monahan Prudent, who's married to the French international Henri Prudent, so she spends both of them with their little family, spend half their lives here in, or rather in France, here in Europe as it were, and also in Middleburg, Virginia in the USA. Oh yes. A team of young American riders, most of them women riders, have been and they got away with it. Talk about the luck of the Irish, but anyway, you need it, but that time they didn't, I'm afraid. So young American side's been touring Europe all summer in the Nations Cup tournaments, and mainly under the coaching of Katie Monahan Prudent, been going brilliantly. But this is one I think we can put in our notebook for the future. This is a rather nice horse. It's All Frosty, isn't it? So it comes back nicely inside the time allowed for just that 4th falter. So that clear round. Excuse me, we've got dust coming up here in my throat. We're right up in the gantry, and I've got Chloe with me, by the way, this time, and she's checking all the scores for me, and smiling and nodding away there, so we seem to have it all right. Just that one clear round then. Peter Charles, who was the first to go for Ireland, with Trax Data, Amber de Montois. And Michael Slovan there, posing the question, how many clears are we going to get? Well, this is what all sports are about, isn't it? We'll soon find the answer. So Joan Green now for the home country. Joan, who comes from County Limerick, which isn't very far from here. And she's riding the 10-year-old Irish-bred mare, Shannondale. They won the National Grand Prix in Cavan last week, and finished, also won, by the way, the Masters at Eglinton in Ireland, and that's Joan is former national speed champion of Ireland. And they've done quite brilliantly to get through to this top 18. I think they can be very proud of that, because again, this is a horse with not a lot of experience at Grand Prix level. And you've heard me say it before, I'm sure, but these light rails now, made of such light material and flat cups, you really get away with absolutely nothing. There's the Kerrygold fence, that one a 5'6", the committed 3. And James is getting the horse to settle down there. It's running on a little bit too much. Ooh, that one actually stayed. Oh, she worked hard to come through that. So it's the 4 front fences down for Joan Green, for Ireland and Shannon Dale, putting them on a 16 faulter. We have Peter Charles, as they leading this from the front at the moment, but we've still got a fair way to go. That was the 14th of our top 18. In fact, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at it the other way around, isn't it? That was the 5th one of our top 18. But Peter Charles, I say, with out in front there with that clear round on Amber de Montois, who's going to challenge him. Well, the next one coming in is one I've been talking about earlier. I'm sure you recognise both of them. It is Mary McCann's wonderful Irish-bred stallion Cruising, and the legendary Eddie Macken on board. Eddie, 50 years old. In fact, I was talking to him before the competition, and you may remember, many of you, that Eddie first made his name on a most brilliant horse called Boomerang, and I said, well, how do you compare Cruising to Boomerang? He said, well, Cruising's absolutely brilliant. I'm so pleased he's come along at this time in my career, but Boomerang is still his favourite at the moment. Well, Cruising, as I said earlier, won this World Cup qualifier last year and the year before with Trevor Coyle. But let's say his career has undergone a bit of a sea change, because Trevor Coyle has signed up to ride for the powerful Paul Schockenmolder stable. So Mary McCann asked Eddie Macken to take over the ride, and Eddie rode him, well, for the first serious outing in the Sires of the World Grand Prix in Lanaken in Belgium, where they finished 3rd. And they've got a lot to live up to now, haven't they? Eddie, who's based in Germany, competed in 7 European Championships, 5 World Championships, 2 Olympic Games, but he's got a lot to live up to here. Always a stylish horseman. Oh, and Eddie got a lovely line to that. Oh dear, every time they get near a fence, you'll hear the crowd absolutely hold their breath. I've got Peter Charles clear for Ireland, who was the first to go. Treble combination of fence 10. Oh, man, it looked like a walk in the park. 2 more fences to go. Eddie Macken and Cruising, the defending champion here at Millstreet. And it's there. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Had the crowd giving them a great ovation. That was a very late rail to go. They barely touched it. Now let's see it. It's still there, and they were literally almost landing, weren't they, as that lab rail went. So there we are. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more Cruising and Eddie Macken. And obviously you get emotionally involved with these horses, don't you? They're so marvellous, but that's quite a performance anyway to come through this far, and certainly the home crowd were pleased with it. Move on now to Ralph Schneider for Germany, 28 years old. Ralph riding the 12-year-old French-bred Chopin. And Rolf, who in fact at the moment, after 2 rounds so far on the Western European League, he's in second place on the Western European League with 25 points. Top of the league is his fellow German rider, Carsten Otto Nagel, on 31. And then comes Rolf-Göran Bengtsson, who we'll be seeing later on here, in third place for Sweden on 25. Thomas Villain then for... in fact, it's Thomas Verlaine who's next, rather, for Denmark on 21, and then Rolf-Göran Bengtsson for Sweden, and he's on 20 points. I say that's all about finding those finalists to go to Las Vegas next April. So Schneider, second in Oslo, round 1, 6 in Helsinki, also finished third in the Rotterdam Grand Prix this summer with Chopin. Spent his formative years working with Lutke Beerbaum. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're clear from Peter Charles, and only 2 on 4 faults. Joan Green and Eddie Macken, so it's very much Ireland all the way at the moment. In fact, no, it's the American rider, isn't it? Leslie Hoff that's on the 4, along with Eddie Macken. Yes, that's a stretch to get to that last element. Horse designer Anders Hausschultz has really posed some fair questions at them, but there we go to the last fence, and that's the one. We now have a jump-off situation. It's Ralf Schneider for Germany, clear round number 2, and he'll be taking on Peter Charles for Ireland at the moment with Amber de Montois. They'll go over a shortened course against the clock, a show jumping's tiebreaker. But here particularly, he stayed, as you can see, over to the left, swung out a bit because it's a long striding horse, and hit it absolutely on the button. Francis Connors now for the home country. Francis from County Waterford, which is over on the southeast, I think, of Ireland. And Francis, 37 years old. He's riding Eric Chasm, and this is a 9-year-old Irish bred. Been leading jumper of the year in Ireland 6 times, but this is his first World Cup qualifier in Millstreet. And Francis and, in fact, the entire Connors family are very well known for producing young jumping horses. So we have the 2 clear rounds. Peter Charles for Ireland. And for Germany, Ralf Schneider. Oh, and they turn that into a quick one. That rail stayed, that back rail. Just on the 4. We're just about the halfway stage now of this round 3. This Kerrygold, that's the first element of the treble combination there, fenced in this Kerrygold World Cup of the International Equestrian Federation Series. So it's the 3 down then for Francis Connors, a 12 fault up. So we must stop here Michael Slavin, who does so much here, in fact, throughout Ireland, course commentating, and on RTE Sport, who are our hosts. There's a reminder of our 2 clear rounds, Peter Charles and Ross Schneider, Germany and Ireland. And RTE is our host broadcasters here at RTE Sport, but there's Basco, that's a pop group after this. It's going to be really quite a night after this World Cup. And then they all getting ready for the Kerrygold Grand Prix tomorrow. Kerrygold, great supporters of equestrian sport in Ireland. As you most probably remember, they sponsor the Dublin Horse Show. In fact, Noel Corley, the chairman of the Irish Dairy Board, was telling me that they're now sponsoring the game next year, so it'll be 12 years of sponsoring Dublin. That's quite something, isn't it? Moving back to the action, it's with Anton Martin Bauer now for Austria, 36 years old. Anton Martin riding Remus Innovation. This is a 9-year-old Oldenburger mare. Well, Anton Martin was the national champion of Austria last year, finished 10th in the Helsinki Grand Prix just a few weeks ago at the beginning of this Western European League series, and he was in the Austrian team that won the Nations Cup in Linz. He qualified for the World Cup finals of '98, and 2 clear rounds, remember, Peter Charles, Ross Schneider. In fact, I think the arena's filling up more, don't you, as this goes along? Nice. And again. We've got 6 nations represented in this Kerrygold World Cup event. Well, they meant business on that, ran on for it, didn't they? Tight into the corner again. Treble combination. Course designer seems to be catching them in all different places. There's not one particular fence, is it? Martin Bauer coming back with a 4-faulter there, which the way the competition is going at the moment means they're going to certainly pick up some points from the minor end of the leaderboard. There's the judges box there. You can see them, and I think if that move across, we might just see Michael Slavin. He's in the box next door. And as Michael was just reminding us, 2 clear rounds so far. Peter Charles for Ireland, Ross Schneider for Germany. As we move on now to Albert Zoa for the Netherlands, 24 years old. And Albert Zoa riding this 12-year-old Dutch bred, as we've heard, Faldo, a stallion. And Albert, whose brother, or sister rather, Jenny, he is the brother of Jenny, is what I was going to say, also a top international rider. And Albert finished 9th in the Maubeuge Grand Prix in France, and last World Cup season, 98-99, finished equal 2nd in the qualifier in Sevilla in Spain. And we've got about 8 more to go now, so we're starting to get near the sharp end. They're going in order of merit after yesterday's qualifier, this new format that's been tried out this season, which seems to be working. May not please everybody, and oh dear, they came down very short on that back rail, didn't they? So still the 2 at the moment qualified to go forward to our tiebreaker. The World Cup Series first came to Millstreet here, created by the Duggan family, headed up by father Noel C. and eldest son Thomas. First came here in '93. And the qualifier yesterday, by the way, sponsored by the Irish Sports Council. First time that they've sponsored a show jumping event, I think. So it's a 12 fault for Albert Zoa. For the Netherlands with Faldo. Peter Charles with a clear. Ralf Schneider for Germany with a clear. It's Ireland, Germany at the moment. Our defending champion, certainly the defending champion, horsewise cruising. Now ridden by the great Eddie Macken. Went out with a 4-faulter at the very last fence. Just, well, I say they were landing and going away as the rail hit the deck. So we move on now to Cameron Hanley for Ireland, 26 years old. And Cameron, 26 years old, I suppose by hearing now from Michael Slavin from County Mayo. This 11-year-old Swiss bred, this Wandonga. Cameron, who's based in Switzerland at Gerhard Etter's stable. And this horse actually produced by Gerhard's son, Daniel Etter. And Cameron in his 5th season. Cameron very much one of the up-and-coming names in international show jumping in Ireland. He's already seen service in the Irish Nations Cup show jumping team. We're still with that 2 clears. Peter Charles for Ireland, Ralf Schneider for Germany. And we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 more to go now in this preliminary round. Getting very tight up in the call there, but also just settling the horse down a bit, Cameron. Just in the run on a bit quick down to the fences and flattening in the air. Last one to go, and Cameron Hanley for Ireland with those 3 rails on the floor for a 12-faulter. Peter Charles, British born, but been riding for Ireland since 1992. Clear around there on Amber de Montois, and Ralf Schneider then for Germany with Chopin. And I say we're getting very near now to the sharp end. We're coming in order of merit from that Irish Sports Council qualifier yesterday. And there you could see Cameron Hanley just trying to settle the horse coming around the corner there, but it was just putting its head up and coming back on him each time. Well, Rolf Goran Bengtsson now, I was talking about earlier on, the 37-year-old Swedish rider with Chanel, this 9-year-old Danish bred, this one. And Rolf Goran, who won the first round of this season's FEI World Cup Series on the Western European League, won it in Oslo. During the summer, finished 3rd in the Aachen Grand Prix, both of those with his top horse, Opstelans Roofs, and been based now for some time with Jan Tops in the Netherlands, at Staltops and Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. And as I said earlier, Ralf Goran Bengtsson in 4th place at the moment, this early stage on the Western European League with 20 points. Now can he bring the 3rd clear round to us? Nope. Hey, well, should never say that, should you? But I did pose the question. There's that committee 3. Rolf Goran Bengtsson is also a big winner at the World Breeding Championships for young horses. And I think it was the 5-year-old championship he won there. But he's resting off at the moment his top horse, Opsland's Roofs. So just the 2 down. The 8-footer there for Bengtsson, so that's one of the form book favourites going out. Just that 2 clear rounds. Peter Charles for Ireland, Rolf Schneider then for Germany. Well, there we are. You must over here, Michael Slavin. Where are we going to get them from indeed? Well, we've still got some stars to come. They were rather a long way off that one, weren't they? Let's flatten that bit in the air. Carrie Halstenveld, 25 years old, for the Netherlands. Well, she's competed here regularly over the last 4 years in Millstreet. The whole family come over and have quite a working holiday of it. And she's riding this 12-year-old Dutch-bred stallion, Hey Guy. Well, Carrie at the moment equal 18th on the Western European League with 7 points, but of course it's early days at the moment. We're only in round 3. She picked up those 7 points in Oslo. Finished 8th in the Oslo Grand Prix as well, and 7th in the Donnereshken Grand Prix, behind the great Lutke Birbaum riding Gold Fever. All came off the corner well. You see how Carrie set the horse back. He can just rush to his fences a bit, this fella. Well, I say it's a very unforgiving game, isn't it? And we're now down to 5 to go, and we've still got those 2 clear rounds. All those on 4 faults will divide the points between them on the league. And oh dear, he was just tending to run off with her down to the last, but that's a useful 4 faulter for Carrie Halstenveld for the Netherlands and Hey Guy. But it's Peter Charles for Ireland and Rolf Schneider for Germany, as we know, that are up in the van at the moment. Are we going to have a head-to-head finish? A match play final between the 2 of them. Well, I say we've got 5 more to come now. Well, not no luck about that. Just didn't get the height to it, did they? Ooh, went Powell coming out though. So for France now, and we're at the 16th to go. Olivier Joannetto with the 13-year-old French-bred mare ULM, finished 8th in the Linz Grand Prix and in the Caen Grand Prix, the Grand Prix Picasso during the summer, and in September in the Paris Masters at Paris-Jardy. And I'm pretty certain, although we've seen Olivier Joannetto several times at Olympia in London, great Christmas show there before Christmas, but I'm pretty certain this is his first time here at Millstreet. Crowd of some just over 4,000 here. Now it says £25,000 of prize money on the table, and also those points. 20 points going to the winner, then 17, 15, 13 and 12. crowd just buzzing it. Oh, they just went absolutely flat down that. Well, this is an interesting situation now, isn't it? With just 4 more to go and only 2 on equal scores for the tiebreaker against the clock as Joe Netto comes back with the 4th faulter there for France. I say we've seen Olivier several times in London, and we'll be there again. Eurosport International and British Eurosport will be the host broadcasters there again, Olympia London, for 5 days. That's just before Christmas. Also got some 3 days of live show jumping for you coming up from Amsterdam in early December. As we watched Joanna to see how far off they were, the horse and a game of losing ground all the way down. The horse trying so hard to reach for that back rail. But talking about the future, we're back on Monday for the Audi Grand Prix live from Vienna, Monday the 8th of November. That'll be at 2100 hours CET. That's 8 p.m. British Eurosport time, Irish time and Portuguese time. Now we're moving on towards the closing stages now of this Kerrygold World Cup qualifier on the FEI Series, Western European League, with 2 clear rounds so far. Peter Charles for Ireland and Ralf Schneider for Germany. And for Germany then, it's Holger Hetzel on course. 39 years old, Holger, and he's riding the 11-year-old Ukrainian-bred stallion, Wataki. Oh, Holger, who's based in Gosh, which is on the German-Dutch border. Runs an equestrian centre there. Oh, he left that. Finished 8th in the Zuidlaren Grand Prix in the Netherlands recently. The Irish crowds will know him because he finished 2nd in the Kerrygold Grand Prix in Dublin in August. And in '93 he made it to the World Cup finals, finishing 10th. Treble combination of fence 10. Only got 2 clear rounds so far. Oh yes, 2 more to go for Hetzel. There's already a clear for Germany with Ralf Schneider. Peter Charles, the other one for Ireland. Last fence to go. He's all right for time. And he's left it standing. There goes clear round number 3. So we now have 3 qualified to go to our tiebreaker. 2 for Germany. Holger Hetzel and Ralf Schneider and Peter Charles with Amber de Montois. I'm just doing a quick check there with Chloe, who's keeping an eye on the scores for me. But not very complicated at the moment. So we have the 3 to take on the clock over a shortened course. And we've only got 3 more to go now in this qualifying round. Well, as we've heard, Luke's Gripschover, 27 years old for Germany, and he's riding the 9-year-old Westphalian-bred Warren. Lutz, who finished 5th in that Kerrygold Grand Prix in Dublin during the summer, where Hetzel was 2nd, and 4th. When was it? September, I think it was. 4th in the Lumen Grand Prix in Belgium. Gripschover, who first hit the headlines 4 years ago when he won the British Grand Prix at Hickstead in the south of England. This horse throws a big jump, doesn't he? And we snatched him there. But they're all right. Turns to the last 2. Is this going to be the 3rd one for Germany to go forward to tiebreaker against the clock? Luke Gripschover, and he's there, and well inside that time allowed. And I think our pictures said it all, don't you? Luke Gripschover is our fourth one to go clear, and the third one for Germany. So, Peter Charles, British born, but riding for Ireland very successfully for some time now. The first to go clear with Amber de Montois. Ralf Schneider then for Germany with Chopin. Holger Hetzel then for Germany with Watiki. And now Lutz Gripchover for Germany with Warren. Two more to go now. That's quite a sight, isn't it? Millstreet, lovely little town tucked away, I say about an hour's drive from Cork. And Robert's Plain, certainly one of Ireland's favourite stars in the sport. Robert, and of course he comes from County Cork, so that counts as well, doesn't it? And he's riding Corcoran Cool Diamond, this 10-year-old Irish-bred stallion. Robert, a couple of years ago, won the coveted King George V Gold Cup, the Men-Only Classic at the Royal International Horse Show at Hickstead in the south of England. He's won the Derby here, the outside Derby here in Millstreet with the great mare, and sadly missed now Heather Blaze. But he's been touring France over the last few weeks in Normandy, competing in Saint-Lô and Caen, and with this horse he finished fourth in the Stallions Grand Prix in Caen. Now can he even this up and join Peter Charles? Nope, he can't. No, Robert just getting a little bit forceful there with the stallion. No, it's all coming apart now. Concentration's gone, the rhythm's gone, and that's what it's all about. Robert's going to just set it all up again. No, I don't think he is. Quite wisely, Robert says no, there's no point in going on with that. So we only have one more to go now, and that will be the winner of yesterday's Irish Sports Council qualifier. Michel Hécart for France with Bacon Platier. And Robert seemed to come off this corner all right, but may have come just a little bit, in fact, the horse was looking just a little bit spooky around there, wasn't he? And then from here on, both of them seem to have just lost the rhythm of it all. So Peter Charles for Ireland, Ralf Schneider for Germany, Holger Hetzel for Germany, Lutz Gripchover for Germany. That's at the moment our finalists for this round 3 of the season on the Western European League, this Kerrygold World Cup qualifier. Michel Hécart now on course. And Michel, who won 2 classes and finished 3rd in the Grand Prix at the Horse of the Year show in London's Wembley Arena. And when was that? In September. You also finished up leading rider there. Finished 5th in the Paris Masters, and all with Bacon Platier and his backup horse Asta. It's a 10-year-old French bred. Now last to go now, and we've got 4 ready on the leaderboard for our jump off against the clock. So 20 points going to the winner, 17, 15, 13, 12, down by 1 to 16th. To find the top 18, not including the reigning champion Rodrigo Pessoa from Brazil, who's based in Brussels in Belgium. To find the top 18 to go to the World Cup finals to be staged in Las Vegas in the USA next April. Michel Hécart now for France. Well, that's it then. It's 4 we've got to go forward to our jump off. And Peter Charles for Ireland, Ralf Schneider for Germany, Holger Hetzel for Germany, and Lutz Gripchover of Germany. Let's just stay with Michel Hécart now. It just hasn't come together for him this time. Any refusals they have on course, by the way, get 3 faults for the first one, 6 for the second one. If there are 3 refusals on the course, then it's, they're asked to retire, it's elimination. And if they have 1 fall, then International Grand Prix jumping, no matter how simple a horse or rider, they're also asked to retire. So with the time faults as well, that's 10.75 for Michel Ecart, so that's quite academic. So our leaderboard, or rather our jump-off board then, it'll be Peter Charles to go first for Ireland with Amber de Montois, Ralf Schneider to go for Germany with Chopin, Holger Hetzel then for Germany with Watiki, and the last to go for Germany will be Lutz Gripschover with Warren. Now we're going to leave you for a break now, but we'll be back with that jump off, 4 to go in this Kerrygold World Cup event from Millstreet in County Cork in Ireland. 1 for Ireland, 3 for Germany, so do stay with us.
Look forward into the new millennium.
4 to go, Peter Charles for Ireland, Ralf Schneider, Holger Hetzel and Lutz Gripschover for Germany. And this is for the Kerrygold World Cup qualifier on the FEI Western European League. And this is round 3 out of a total of 15, and it's all about getting those points as well as the prize money. It's all about getting those points to go to the finals in Las Vegas in the USA next April. Well, RTE, our host broadcasters, I am seeing on my monitor Tracy Piggott, the daughter of Lester Piggott, who presents the equestrian programs for RTE. I have to say, through a slight technical problem, I'm not too sure what you're seeing, but she's interviewing Eddie Mack, and of course who's taken over the ride on cruising. So I'm afraid I have to talk over them on that one. Peter Charles will be the first to go, and I've just been told you're all right. We haven't got that interview coming through. We're looking out over the arena, and Peter Charles will be the first one to open it up. Peter, born in Britain, based in Hampshire, but opted to ride through his parents being Irish, opted to ride in Ireland. For Ireland rather, with track state Amber. Now we're just running through some slow motions for you, some replays, but while we're doing that, let me tell you that the jump off course is 6 fences, 7 jumping efforts, set up by Anders Haskolt, our Norwegian course designer, and the time allowed he's given them is 45 seconds. If they go over that time allowed, they pick up 1 time fault for every second commenced. Prize money, there's £25,000 on the table, £8,125 going to the winner, £5,000 to the second, £3,750 to the third. And this one sponsored by Kerrygold, great supporters of equestrian sport in Ireland and across Europe in actual fact. And I say it's all about going to those finals in Las Vegas. There's 13 leagues in fact around the world in the World Cup Series. It truly is a global tournament, and those top riders from all over the world will come together in Las Vegas, where Rodrigo Pessoa, the young Brazilian rider, will be defending his World Cup title for a 3rd time, having won it in 98 and in April of this year, as well as winning, of course, that World Championship last October in Rome at the World Equestrian Games. As we look across the arena, you can see the crowd, some, well, I think it's up to well over 5,000 here now. They've been pouring in even during that preliminary round. And the course designers, there, that is in fact Anders Haskolt there. No, that's Anders with his back to us. The other one is one of his assistants. And they're putting the fences up a notch. They'll go up 3 centimeters. What's that? They'll go, in fact, I think to go up by 10 centimeters, about 3 inches. And it'll mainly be the back bars going up. But there is Noel C. Duggan, the man who created Millstreet, this Green Glens Arena. Long as I say, it's very much a family thing. beautifully run. Thomas Duggan now acting very much as the show director. There's Anders Hafschold, a very successful course designer internationally now. Made his name, of course, in Oslo in the Spectrum Arena, where we had the first round of the Western European League. So here we go with our first to go, Peter Charles for Ireland, with track stater Amber de Montois, this 9-year-old French-bred mare, Peter, who's sponsored by track stater, him and Tim Stockdale, and so Peter based in Hampshire. He's been to 4 World Cup finals, Peter, finished 14th in 95, the former European champion. And he actually served his time, or spent his formative years at exactly the same great training school that Eddie Macken did. That was Iris Kerritt's Dublin stable. And then went on to ride for Freddie and Sue Welsh in the south of England before setting up his own yard. But Peter, he's got to put the pressure on now, the 3 Germans to come behind him. Got no choice about it. He's got to go for a decent time. And in fact he is. He's moving on from the bell. Turns in very sharp. Oh, and perhaps too sharp, but they got away from it. Now that's a clever horse. It seemed to get an uncomfortable turn through that. That's the last 2 elements of what was the treble combination. Then they go away again on their right rein. Turn very tight into there. Long run then. Through to the final fence, but that set it up and the crowd love it. 30.60 is the time, and it's clear. Look at the reactions. Our pictures tell everything. 30.60, Peter Charles and track stater Amber de Montois. The pressure now very much on the 3 Germans. It was here where Peter came in the very short term, but he had to make just a slight correction there because they were moving on a line away from the fence. But it was how tight he turned into that Kerrygold vertical that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And I made his split time there at about 21, wasn't it? 20:21. Rolf Schneider then has got to take that on for Germany with Chopin. 30.60 has been set up by Peter Charles and track stater Amber. We've only got 4 in this one. So Ralph Schneider, they can't do any sort of game tactics in this. It's just going to have to go for a blaster. They've got to go to beat that time, and obviously they've got to leave those rails standing as well. Round 3 of this season's FEI World Cup Series. This one, as we know, supported by Kerrygold. Round 3 of on the Western European League. There we are, confirmation of Peter Charles's time, 30.60. Ralf Schneider now and Chopin start their build-up to go to the first fence. And Schneider taking his time. Get the horse settled into a good, strong rhythm. Now open him up. And it's here where Hofschild has opened them up. Here he's closed them up. That's very tight on a super angle to land beautifully to come away on the left rein. And again, now it's all going to be about this turn back to the Kerrygold. And I make him just about a fraction up on Peter Charles, 30.60, remember. And it's Ralf Schneider for Germany, and he goes in at 30.04. So, my goodness, we're talking about 0.54, aren't we? 0.5 of a second for that clear from Ralf Schneider. So this is really building up to, in racing terms, we're talking about a short head between those two. Peter Charles on that 30.60. Schneider, who finished second in Oslo, now looks like going, well, very good chance of getting better. But look at the super turn he got here. Came at the angle perfectly to go away on that left rein for the next turn back. So Holger Hetzel now has got to take that on with Wataki. These last 3 all riding for Germany. 30.04 Ralf Schneider, 30.60 Peter Charles for Ireland. And you see the little protective pad there that Elsa's got on Wataki. Some horses, their skin's just a little bit sensitive. When that leather bridle gets hot, it can just rub them. Okay, nicely padded up, and in fact he's moving him well on long before going through the starting gate. Usually means they mean business, comes well off the boards. Again, it's going to be this turn back. He's in tight. Got the angle as well. Looks a little bit wider to me on that turn back. Now it's going to be all about to the Kerrygold fence. 30.04 is the time to beat. I make him about nearly a second behind there as Holger Helson goes for the last. He's going to take a flyer in this one. Dare it all with Watiki. Goes from a long way off. 30.78. My word. Well, it may lack quantity, but it certainly doesn't lack quality, this one. Peter Charles says that with 30.64. Ralf Schneider knocked that down by 0.54, in other words 5/10 to 30.04. Now Holger Hetzel for Germany with Bartiki with that 30.78, and that's only, what, 0.2 of a second adrift of Peter Charles's time. And he was definitely deeper on the turn back there, and for my money, looking at that split time, I made him about 21 seconds on that split time there, as against Schneider's, which was just a shade under the 20. Only one more to go now. Lutz Gripschover for Germany. Lutz Gripschover, 27 years old. Already well on the points table. On the lower end of it anyway. He's got a few points there. But Lutz Gripschover with Warren. And it's 30.04. Ralf Schneider for Germany. Peter Charles then for Ireland, 30.60, and we know they're all clear. Holger Hetzel then for Germany with 30.78, so it really is a blanket finish in racing terms, and my word, they're away. Gripschover turns up. He's got right up in the corner of it for the turnaround. Definitely tighter on this one, and this is a big power horse. He can sit right back on his horses like that, and he's up by making nearly a second up on that split time. Last fence to go. They're calling him home. Lutz Gripschover, 30.04. He's going to annihilate it. He's destroyed it. 28.07. Look at the crowd there. There's Lutz Gripschover's supporters. Our pictures tell it all, as they always do, but the home crowd is well appreciating it. What a jump off. Lutz Gripschover is a winner for Germany, picking up £8,125 and those 20 points on the Western European League. 28.07, so he was just about 2 seconds up, and again that in racing terms is a runaway win on Ralf Schneider for Germany with Chopin, 30.04, and then Peter Charles then, and Chloe's just checking it all for me. Peter Charles then in third place with Trax Data Amber de Montois, and that was on a 30.60, and Holger Hetzel then coming in fourth place for Germany, and he's on a 30.78, so absolutely nothing with them. But Gripschover, just watch this. He really did destroy the time with Warren, and you can see this is a powerful horse, but very, very athletic, and he dares it all coming down to the last. Goes from a long way off, or 2 houses away, but that was 28.07 against 30.04. So I say it may not have had a blanket finish, but my goodness, with only 4 in the final, that was a cracking one. We had some super jump-offs so far on the FEI World Cup singles, on the Western European League, a super one in Oslo, where Rolf Gordon Bengtsson won, with a terrific one in Helsinki, where Germany's Carsten Otto Nagel won, and now here Lutz Gripschover. Now, I told you we'd be back on Monday, the 8th of November, the Audi Grand Prix from Austria, live from Vienna in Austria at 2100 hours CET. That's 8 p.m. British Eurosport time. There's confirmation of result. That's 8 p.m. British Eurosport time, and also Portuguese and Irish time. So with Lutz Gripschover is as the winner of this Kerrygold World Cup event, round 3 of the FEI Winter Series on the Western European League. Gripschover getting the full 20 points and picking up that prize money of £8,125. And my word, look at the way they just went for this. This is a big, strong horse, but an athletic sort of horse. And just to remind you, don't forget to join us on Monday from Vienna, the Audi Grand Prix live. Until then, from me, Peter Churchill, bless you for your company, and bye-bye.
International international horse show, and the last competition was truly an international event. It was the Dairy Gold sponsored Grand Prix, £20,000 on offer. 65 riders went in the first round, and we're getting ready now for the jump-off. 11 going in this one, 6 countries represented, 2 of those from Ireland, and they're both from County Cork. So without further ado, let's hand over now to Robert and John Hall.
£20,000 on offer, and the first into the arena is Katie Monaghan Prudent and Landato. Time all important, and she means business.
She certainly does. Goes on to the 8th fence and then turns back to 2 parts of the combination. A good shot in. And now the 11th fence, the second last fence on the first course, and then on to the 3rd fence. A real gallop down the arena. She has to keep motoring. She's clear all the way. That's a great round. Through the finish in a time of 38.15. That just could take some beating.
Katie Monaghan Prudent, United States, clear 38.15.
Well, that's a great ride from Katie Monaghan Prudent. Claire in 38.15. That's the target now for Claire Bronfman for America, the second American into the arena. Enchante.
It's about 7 even strides from the first fence. And then how tight can you turn back to the left?
Katie got to the Dairy Gold vertical in 31 seconds.
So they're about the same. Now how fast can she gallop to the left? She's moving up. 1 check. Claire at the last, she's through the finish in a time of 37.86, a new leader.
Claire Bronfman for the United States with Enchante. So they're getting faster.
Ulrich Cherenet for France, and Prima d'Or. New target 37.86. That's the time to beat now. This 10-year-old Anglo-Arab stallion.
Yeah, it just makes a bit of a noise, but doesn't impede his progress. Clicking all the way, encouraging the horse. A good turn back is needed. He's just off the mark, I think. Very lucky at that vertical. Now he's kept the rate up all the way to the last. He's clear at that. He's going to fire through the finish in a time of 38.79. That will place him 3rd so far.
38.79, 3rd place for the Frenchman.
Olivier 1 or 2 for France now with Ulme. How quick can they be?
Well, we know they're a bit lucky. A good wrap at that back bar. Clean enough over the wall. He keeps moving forward and needs a good line back to the double. Doesn't look quick enough across the ground. And a kick out over that vertical. Turns inside. He's off the pace. Has to keep moving. As you can see, those seconds ticking away at the top of your picture. Through the finish in a time of 39.45. That places him 4th so far.
45 for Olivier Ganatou with Ulme for France.
James Peters for Belgium and Alco, and still Claire Bronfman in the lead. 37.86. Alco, 9-year-old by Nambal, Anglo-Arab bred.
Perhaps just steadying a little there. Got a double rein on. One is a gag line running through the bit. Oh, great height over that triple bar. And a bit lucky at the vertical. Now it's marginally off the pace here, so he'll have to gallop. Looks back, but it's still there. There's the one in front of him that he should be concerned about. And this is put him behind the leaders. It's a good round. He looks up. Not quite good enough. Into 5th place with a time of 39.74.
So that's
at this stage.
United States at the top.
The first of the 3 British through to the jump off. This is Tim Stockdale, and we still have to have Robert Smith to come and our own two corkmen. Tim Stockdale with track starter Wyston Bridget.
Jumped an immaculate clear round. Paul's really trying. It's just a question of whether he can get across the ground quick enough. A good line at this double. Tremendous height. And it's just about in target if he can move to the last. Now he has to keep motoring. 37.86 to beat. 37.68. Thank you very much, Mr. Stockdale. And he takes first place so far.
And a new target now for Robert Splain with Cool Current, Cool Diamond. Tim Stockdale on 37.68. Robert's giving it everything, the local man from Baldooley, and getting great encouragement.
And that big jump out took him a little wide, so he had to go round an extra fence. But as you know, he's quick across the ground. Crowd are hushing themselves. They don't want to disturb him. And now a tight turn back here, Rob. Now go. Now go. Can he get there? He can all the way. Is he going to do it? Well, 36.72 puts it in the corkman's pocket. Our new leader. I think they enjoyed that.
What a performance. Into the lead, Robert Splain, 36.72. Now how much room is that for improvement on that? And the last two, Anton Martin Bauer now, Remus Innovation.
Well, he's taken an extra stride down that line, so he must be going to turn tighter. Good jump at that oxer. A good line to the double. Now this is quick. This is real quick. Taking an extra check. Is that going to make a difference? Yes, it is. 36.76. 4/100ths of a second puts him into second place. So you'll have to guess that it's going to be an Irish victory this evening, as the last one to run is Billy Toomey.
We have an Irish win and a County Cork win, but it's Robert Splain at the moment. Here's Billy Toomey. Billy Toomey in Conquest. Young horse, only an 8-year-old, entire horse. Billy so unlucky to not get into the World Cup qualifier last night, but jumped superbly here in the first round.
Yes. And he was flying down that line, as you can see. He's quick enough across the ground. Very good behind. Now needs a good turn back here. That's good. Now can he gallop? Would you believe that? Over the last, through the finish, 37.03. That puts him in about 4th place. 3rd place at the moment. So we have a winner. Robert Splain, 36.72. It couldn't be better.
Well, what a win, a local win. You can't get better than that. Robert Splain and Cool Current, Cool Diamond, the winners in 36.72. Second for Austria was Anton Martin Bauer. In 3rd place, Billy Toomey. Tim Stockdale was 4th and Claire Bronfman 5th. What a night for Robert Splain. Winner already of the outdoor derby, and now he's done the double with his stallion by Glidorn Diamond, Cool Current, Cool Diamond. Fantastic performance. The presentation made by John Walsh, the Vice Chairman of Dairy Gold, with Joan O'Brien, the Marketing Coordinator.
And there you have it, the result of the Dairy Gold Grand Prix. And with me, I have the winning rider, Robert Splain. Robert, many congratulations. That was some winning round.
Fantastic. I'm really, really thrilled. He's a lovely horse.
He's a super horse and very spirited.
Yeah, he is. He's a very feisty animal. He's got lots of heart, and he's very, very careful. And, you know, he's very inexperienced at this level, even though we've been producing him the right way over the last, few months. We've been to France for the last 2 weeks in preparation for this show, but this is a dream come true. He's a lovely, lovely animal. I've been looking for him for a long, long time. And he's a stallion, of course, which means he has a great future in his, in his offspring,
And, of course, made him more special because it was here in your local Cork.
Absolutely, yeah. Millstreet's been lucky with me. I had a great mare a few years back, Heather Blaze, and she won the Derby here. And I have great memories of Millstreet. But good horses are very, very rare and scarce. And now I have a good one again. It's such a thrill for me. It's fantastic.
Well, many congratulations. It's great to see you winning.
Thank you very much.
That was winning rider Robert Splain, and that's where we have to leave it for tonight and the 1999 Millstreet Indoor Horse Show. Good night.
Yes, I'm sure they will have a good night down there as a result of Robert Splain.